Tonight's case, the death of Anna Kepner aboard Carnival Horizon.
Welcome back, y'all, to Murder with Mike's Wife. I am, of course, Mike.
And I'm Shay.
Tonight's case is one of the most unsettling we've ever covered. It is about family, secrecy, and tragedy aboard a cruise ship. Hey, we're talking about the death of 18-year-old Anna Kepner, a Florida teen whose life ended in a way no one could have ever imagined.
And what makes this case so haunting is that the FBI is investigating Anna's own stepbrother.
Yep.
This isn't just a crime at sea. It's a story about trust, betrayal, and the fragility of family ties.
All right, y'all. Over the course of this episode, we're going to walk you through Anna's life, the discovery of her body, which is very strange, these autopsy findings, and the investigation into her stepbrother. Oh, and let's not forget about family turmoil that spilled out into these courtrooms. We're also going to talk about the bigger picture, what this means for cruise ship safety and for families everywhere.
Anna Kepner was a cheerleader from Titusville, Florida. Straight A student, friends describe her as bubbly, full of energy, and someone who lit up the room when she walked in. She wasn't just surviving, she was thriving.
Yeah, and let's not forget, she had plans, y'all. She had military aspirations, dreams of a future. And that's what makes this case so damn devastating. Because it's not just about someone already struggling. This is about a young woman with everything ahead of her, and suddenly she's just gone.
And let's remember, Anna wasn't alone on this cruise. She was with her family.
Yeah.
Which makes the circumstances of her death even harder to process.
Yeah, I can't imagine. All right, y'all, let's talk about the discovery a little bit of her body. On November 7th, 2025, Anna was found unalive in her cabin aboard the Carnival Horizon. Now, the details of how she was found are quite disturbing. Her body was hidden under the bed, wrapped in a blanket, and covered with life vests.
That detail, the life vest, is haunting.
Right.
Experts have called it infantile. Almost like a child trying to hide something without understanding or grasping the gravity of it.
Yeah, definitely. And think about that. On a cruise ship where cabins are small, where staff are constantly running in and out, hiding a body under a bed with life vests? Like, that's not sophisticated. Let's just call it what it is. That's desperation.
It tells us something about the mindset of whoever did this. Panic, fear, maybe immaturity, but definitely not a calculated cover-up.
Yeah. And that desperation is a clue, y'all. It suggests that the killer was not thinking like a seasoned criminal. They were reacting in the moment. Something happened in the moment. All right, y'all. So, with the autopsy, investigators determined Anna died from asphyxiation. There were bruises found around her neck, consistent with a bar hold. A bar hold, y'all. An arm pressed across the throat. And hey, that's no accident. That takes force.
And importantly, there were no signs of sexual assault. No drugs, no alcohol. This wasn't a case of partying gone wrong. This was violence, plain and simple.
Yeah, and that's chilling to think about. You've got a teenager trapped in a cabin, suffocated by someone that she knew. And then her lifeless body just hidden under life vests like a secret no one wanted to face.
As a criminal psychology student, I can tell you, this kind of concealment often points to immaturity. It's not about sophistication, it's about panic. The act of hiding the body under the life vest suggests someone young, someone who didn't fully grasp what was going on and the consequences.
Yeah, and that leads us to the stepbrother.
The FBI is investigating Anna's stepbrother. He's 16 years old, referred to in court filings as TH. He was sharing the cabin with Anna and another sibling.
Yeah, and here's where it gets even darker, y'all. In a custody battle, Anna's stepmother, Chantel Hudson, admitted that her son was a suspect in this case. So, y'all, that's not a rumor. That is documented in court filing.
Investigators are combing through surveillance footage, swipe card data, and interviewing passengers and crews. But on a cruise ship, every move is tracked.
Yeah.
Every door swipe, every hallway camera.
Yeah, they should know exactly who and what was in the room with her. And yet, despite all of the surveillance, Hannah still ended up alive. And that raises a big question. How did this happen without anyone noticing?
It suggests that it happened quickly, in private, and possibly by someone she trusted enough to let close.
Yeah. And y'all, that's the most chilling part of this, okay? We're talking trust turned deadly. Alright, there's some family turmoil going on in this case. Let's just call it what it is. Anna's dad, Christopher Kepner, has also been pulled into the spotlight. He avoided a subpoena in a related custody case for some reason. A process server reported finding his SUV running in the driveway. Lights on in the house, but no one would answer the door.
That's bizarre. And it adds up to the sense that this family's fractured. Secrets spilling out in courtrooms, in custody battles, and now in headlines.
Yeah, why would he not come to the door? Hey, and remember, y'all, this isn't just about Anna's death. It's about a family that was already under huge strain and now facing the most devastating tragedy imaginable.
Family dynamics matter in cases like this. The stress, the conflict, custody battles.
Right?
They create environments where violence can erupt.
Definitely. I mean, we've seen it many times. Let's talk a little bit about this investigation, Shay.
Sure. The FBI has jurisdiction because the death occurred in international waters. This means that federal investigators are leading this case, not the local police.
And that's an important fact, y'all, because cruise ship deaths are very complicated. Let's be for real. You've got international law, you've got a big corporation's interest and saving face, and you've got people desperate to find answers. Like, there's nothing straightforward about this.
Investigators are looking at everything. Who was in the cabin, who had access, what the surveillance shows, and they're not ruling out charges against the stepbrother.
Right. Let's, everyone's innocent until proven, but I say definitely someone needs to be looked into. And meanwhile, while all this is going on, Carnival Horizon is cooperating. But hey, cruise lines have a history of trying to protect their image. We know this, which means that people looking for answers often feel like they're fighting not just for justice, but against a corporate machine with corporate lawyers. All right, let's talk about the big questions in this case. Here is what we're left with. Why did Anna die? Like, why was her life taken? Was this some kind of fight that escalated between her and a sibling? Was this something intentional and planned and just waiting for the right moment? Or was it just pure panic? Did something happen and someone panicked and hid her body?
And why hide the body under the life vest? Was that a teenager's attempt to cover up something they didn't fully understand?
Right.
Or was it something more sinister?
It's definitely strange. And what about this dad? Avoid subpoenas in this situation. What does that say about this family dynamics? And about what people knew or didn't want to admit in this case?
These are the questions investigators, the public, and family are still grappling.
Definitely. There's a broader context in all of this, though, because cruise ships aren't supposed to be safe. We know this. But deaths at sea, they aren't as rare as you think they are, guys. And when they happen, jurisdiction gets freaking messy. Families and people looking for answers often end up going abandoned.
And this case highlights that. A young woman dead, a stepbrother under investigation, a father dodging subpoenas, and a cruise line trying to manage the fallout.
Right. And It's also a reminder that behind the glossy brochures and the promises of fun, cruise ships, they're just like a floating city. And like any other city out there, y'all, crime is going to happen.
I want to leave you with this thought. Crimes like Anna's death don't happen in a vacuum. They happen in the context of family dynamics, stress, immaturity, and sometimes desperation. The concealment of her body under the life vest tells us about the psychology of the suspect. It wasn't calculated, it was panic.
Yeah.
The bruises on her neck tell us about the violence. It wasn't accidental, it was forceful. And the family turmoil tells us about the environment. Fractured, strained, and unstable.
Yeah, exactly. 100%.
When we study cases like this, we're not just looking at what happened. We're looking at why. And the why often lies in the psychology of relationships, trust, and conflicts. Anna's death is a tragedy, but it's also a case study in how family stress, immaturity, and violence can intersect in the worst way possible.
Yeah, and in this case, I want to say this. It is ongoing. There has been no files charged yet by the FBI. But hey, the evidence, y'all, let's be honest, the bruises, the concealment, the custody filings already going on, they all paint a disturbing picture in this. And what we're going to do is keep following this case and do an update as soon as something new comes out.
Behind every headline is a family shattered. Anna's story is about more than a cruise ship. It's about trust, betrayal, and fragility of life.
Hey, I want to thank you all for watching today. As always, this has been Murder with Mike's Wife, and I am Mike.
And I'm Shay.
And we'll see y'all next time. Stay safe out there.